Welcome to Release Readiness Live. My name is Ayori Selassie, and I'll be your host as we walk through the latest and greatest features of the Summer 18 release. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are in the world. Now, we've been here all week going over the latest features of all the clouds, and today we're focused on communities. And I want to say, the great thing about Release Readiness Live is that no matter what type of trailblazer you are, whether this is your very first release or if you've already been testing out features in your sandbox, this show is perfect for you because our product managers are here to answer all your questions. So where do you go to ask those questions? To answer that, let's welcome our community rockstar, Elna Miller.
Thanks, Ayori. Welcome, everybody, to the Community Cloud webcast, our final day in Release Readiness Live. Welcome back to those of you who have been here before. And if you have been here before, you know that we love to get your questions. So please post your questions and shout-outs in either Twitter or in the Release Readiness Trailblazers group in the Trailblazer community. That's where we really like to get your meaty questions, especially if you have a specific scenario or use case you want to share and ask about. The community is the best place for that, because our product managers can really have a conversation with you after the webcast is over. If we don't get your question live on the air, we'll get to it as soon as we can within the next couple of days. We do have a no question left behind policy. And do remember to use the hashtag Salesforce Live with your questions and shoutouts. And I have a special love for Community Cloud because, of course, the Trailblazer community runs on Community Cloud. So I'm really excited to see what we have today. So I'm going to hand it back to you, Ayori.
Thank you, Elna. So today our product managers are going to be giving us a sneak peek into the rest of the roadmap. So with that, I'd like to remind you that we will be making some forward-looking statements. So please make your purchasing decisions based on what is currently available in the product. Now, as a reminder, this broadcast, like all Release Readiness broadcasts, are being recorded. And so you'll be able to rewatch this at any time and share it with your friends. And with that, let's meet our product managers.
All right. Hey, everyone. My name is Gayatri. Very excited to be with you here today. And I'm going to be talking you through our customer portal.
Hi, I'm Julie Thompson. I'm a product manager on Community Cloud, and I'm going to be walking you through a service community.
Hey, everyone. I'm Harris. Good to be back. I'll be talking about PRM, partner communities, and show you a little bit about the builder as well.
All right, let's get started. So when our customers come to us and they want to deploy Community Cloud, there are three key use cases or personas they have in mind. So the customer persona, the partner persona, or the employee persona. So in the customer persona or the customer use case, there are two key use cases we're going to be talking through today. So one is the customer portal experience, and then the other one is service community. So what is a customer portal, you may ask? So if you think about industries like financial services or life insurance, the customer portal really is a great fit for these type of industries. They want an experience where their customers can come in, they can maybe access the account information, update it, and even participate in some really great business processes. The second use case we have is service community. And service community, guys, it's a great fit, as we know, for companies that are in the high-tech or manufacturing space, because what it really lets you do is come in, your customers can come in, they can interact with other customers, they can ask questions, get their questions answered, and they can even escalate cases to a live agent and share best practices. So it's awesome for that. Next, let's move over to the partner persona. So in the partner persona, we really focus on partner relationship management. And what partner relationship management does is it gives our customers a really great way to connect with their partners. Their partners feel like they're really part of the same internal sales team, right? Because they have access to the same information, the same leads, opportunities, their same confidential or certified information, as well as access to market development funds. So that's what a partner community does for you. Last but not least, we also have employee communities. And when our customers come to us for employee communities, they say, hey, we really want to reinvent our intranet, or we want to create a modern, easy-to-use help desk. Can you help us with that? And that's what an employee community is an amazing fit for. All right, next, what we're going to do is talk about the 4 key themes that we have coming up in Summer 18. And these are the themes we're also going to be focusing on for the rest of our demo as well. And we'll kick it off with Digital Experience Platform. Digital Experience Platform is a big investment for us. It's really just the core platform that's used to build out all 3 communities, whether it's service community, customer portal, or the employee community. And one of the things I'm really excited about, I know you guys are too, are out-of-the-box themes. With out-of-the-box themes, you can create these visually stunning experiences from your Lightning builder with just clicks, not code. And I'll show you a demo of how that works shortly. The next piece is service community, and our major focus with the service community in Summer 18 has been to increase the engagement of our customers with our marketing cloud integration, and as well as making sure that the critical information you want in your community is front and center with features like pin posts. And Julie is going to be walking you through a demo of how that's done, which is pretty exciting. The next one is Customer Portal, and I'm going to be demoing it for you. And with Customer Portal, we're going to show you how easy it is for your customer to complete any complex business process on your portal, as well as the ability for your service agent to service your customers really quickly by showing you all the enhancements we've made to flows. So that's pretty exciting. Stay tuned for that. And last but not the least, we have Harris here, who's going to be talking about the partner relationship management of the PRM portal. And this is going to show you how you can supercharge the sales productivity of your partners with all of the integrations we've done with Sales and Marketing Cloud. All right, so I hope you guys are really excited. What I'd like to do is take a minute to walk you through in more detail some of these different themes, and then we can get started with the demos. So let's start off with Digital Experience Platform. I know I already told you about the pre-built themes, but there are other great features that are coming out as well. I'm particularly excited about actually all of them. Lightning Bolt for Salesforce is really great. It's giving you a one-stop shop. So you can just manage and access all of your installed Bolt solutions. And also, if you have a certain other use case in mind, you can definitely look for solutions on App Exchange. And that's what Lightning Bolt for Salesforce does for you. The second piece is around CMS Connect. So CMS Connect, if you guys are aware, is a very easy, seamless way. If you already have an existing CMS system, whether it's AEM or WordPress or Drupal, you can actually pull in that content into your community. And this used to exist for unauthenticated content. New for Summer 18, we are actually expanding that to include for authenticated content as well, which is exciting.
I'm pretty excited about some of the content features and how you can provide personalized content in communities.
Yeah.
It's pretty slick.
Yep.
Right?
So I know our demos are going to highlight that, so that's going to be really cool. The next one is all around performance. So performance is top of mind for us here at Community Cloud. And with Summer 18, we're very excited to announce that we have progressive rendering. So this way, your community members, if you have a few components that have slower than ideal load times, you're going to be able to ensure a much faster page load time for your customers. So that's pretty awesome. And lastly, we'll give you a sneak peek of native CMS. So native CMS, you'll hear more about it in the winter release as well. But this is really the ability for you to create native content and host it on the Salesforce platform. And you can just use it in the community with all sorts of different themes and layouts. So that's pretty exciting.
You know, earlier you talked about the Lightning Bolt solution, so it's a good time to give a shout out to our customers or partners who built amazing templates and components. And really the power of the platform is you could take any of the out-of-the-box themes and components that we provide or use the hundreds of ones available in App Exchange. So that really brings the power of the ecosystem to our customers. So
absolutely.
Thanks to our partners.
Thank you. All right, now let's just dive into the Lightning Customer Portal as well. There are a few key features that are coming out in Summer 18 as well for this Customer Portal. The first one is all around Lightning Flows. So what is Lightning Flow? So if you think about Community Cloud as a window into your sales, service, and marketing cloud, what Lightning Flow is a window into your complex business processes that your customer can perform on the community. And we had the ability to pause flows in the earlier release. But what we have done with Summer 18 is take that, give you an ability to view those pause flows as well as take actions on them. The next one is all around, the next feature is about Community 360. Community 360 provides a holistic view of your community member to your service agent so they can help them out. And we've done a ton of great enhancements to that by including new record types, as you'll be seeing shortly. And last but not the least, we have next best action flow recommendation. That's quite a mouthful. The NBA flow recommendations, as we like to call them. Yeah. Yep. And so the NBA flow recommendations, what they are about is how do you get the right business process in front of that right customer, right? And this way you can really maximize sales productivity and you can really enhance customer satisfaction. All right. Are you guys all excited to see the demo?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Demo time.
Yes. So let's get started. So what we're going to do today is for the customer portal, use this fictional company called Bright Financial. Bright Financial is a financial services company, the best in the world, allegedly. And Bright Financial has a lot of products and services, and they really want to make sure that their customers have a themed, branded experience that's just targeted for each of their customers. So when you look at the Bright Financial portal, we're looking at the profile. We're logged in as Katie Boyle for this, who's a millennial. You'll see her more in the rest of the demo. But you can actually see that it has the logo. It has a really nice tile menu, which lets you talk about the key call to actions. It also has her CRM data integrated in it, so you see a lot of her account information coming through. And fun fact about Katie, she's a Bitcoin investor, an aggressive Bitcoin investor. So you actually see a lot of personalized content around Bitcoins as well for Katie.
So Gayatri, this is a mobile browser experience, right? So it's basically the mock of accessing the community on our mobile device.
That's a great call out. Yep, all of our templates, everything that you do is definitely MWeb responsive, and that's a great feature add here at Community Cloud. So now let's go over and see what happens under the hood. So how does our community admin create all these rich experiences? And for that, we'll actually be going with Eric Ware. You might remember Eric Ware from some of our previous release readiness live demos. And he's an amazing system admin. And Eric's had an interesting meeting with this manager, right? And Eric's manager is asking him to refresh or visually refresh the look and feel of his community in anticipation of the next quarterly earnings. So Eric wants to go ahead and do that. And he hears about this really cool out-of-the-box themes that he's heard so much about, and he wants to try that. So right now you see Eric in the Lightning Community Builder. For folks who have not used this, this is an amazing tool. What this is kind of like a WYSIWYG editor where you can just drag and drop different components and create a community from scratch in a matter of days. So Eric goes in here, he sees this new theme call to action. He goes ahead and clicks on that. And he sees this call to action to change a theme. So let's see what that gives us. So as you can see, it's right now defaulted to the customer account portal theme. This is the default for the template. But then there's a few other out-of-the-box themes that are offered as well. And Eric sees the one with the minified header. There's one with a prominent search box. But he really likes this one because this has a very prominent call to action. It looks fun as well with all of the flowers. So he's going to pick that. And right off the bat, you see how that theme might look like on the desktop. You see some snapshots of what the theme might look like on the mobile device as well, which is awesome. And then he sees a quick shout out to all the features. And like Harris mentioned, it has responsive design, as do all our templates. So you can access it from any device, and it's also highly customizable. So this is great. So he goes ahead and he activates this theme. He says, use my current version, so because he wants to keep all of the content. And so this is what the new community look and feel looks like. So as you can see, it has a very big and bold hero image. It looks like the rest of the content looks pretty good. And so Eric is happy with that. He just wants to change out the hero image because it has to align with Bright Financial's branding. So let's see how we can do that. So all Eric needs to do here is click on the hero image and choose a different background. I think for this one, let's go with something that's more Bright Financial's brand related. So something like this. So as you can see, he's already updated that. It looks like the text is overlapping. Good news is you don't really need to write any custom CSS to actually fix that. There's a lot of great controls here, including how you can control where your content shows up. So what Eric needs to do is just click on layout, choose a content alignment of center. Boom, there you go. And the site looks good. So Eric is good to publish. He likes how the site looks, and he goes ahead and he publishes the site. So this is really a great option. If you have an existing community that especially is using an out-of-the-box template, very quickly you can get a new look and feel by using some of these out-of-the-box themes. So now that we've updated the site, the portal, let's kind of go ahead and see what Katie sees, right? So this is her existing site. You see a search bar, and it has some calls to action. You can just go ahead and reload this experience. And just like that, Katie is going to see the new Bright Financial portal, which actually has a a smaller search bar. It looks much cleaner. So she's really excited about it. And Eric's manager gave him a promotion, by the way. So just so you guys know. All right. So now what we're going to do is switch over to Katie. And let's talk about what her needs are and how she engages with the portal. So Katie really wants to apply for a credit card. She knows she wants to apply for one. A little bit about Katie: she's a millennial. She's also a philanthropist. She loves the environment and she loves giving back. And so when she clicks on applying for a credit card, what it's doing in the background is kicking off a flow, a lightning flow. And this lightning flow, if you've seen our Spring 18 release, you know is targeted specifically for Katie's persona because it is targeted at millennials and people who have listed philanthropy as their interest. So she sees that there's this beautiful card called Green Rewards, which actually gives back money to her local charity. Looks awesome. She can go ahead and click Next. Hey, there's some fun options for the card, one with a bear and a green background. She's going to go for that. She's going to click Next. And one of the nice things we have here is the CRM information is pre-populated. And Katie, all she has to do is just verify that it's correct. She can also update it if she wants. But she goes ahead. And once she selects her income, she comes to this screen. So Katie is a little troubled with this because she sees that it's going to do a credit check. And she's not very comfortable with that. She wants to make sure that it doesn't really affect her credit history. So what she chooses to do here is pause the flow. So like I mentioned, we did have an ability to pause the flow in the earlier release. But what you're going to see going on is there's an ability to even view those pause flows as well as take actions on them. So she goes ahead and pause the flow and says, hey, will the credit check impact my score?
No one wants that.
What's that?
No one wants that.
No one wants that. Yeah, I know. Yes. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So as you can see that this is what Katie looks at. And then she goes ahead and she clicks on Home. And now new for Summer 18, what you're going to see is a new paused flow component. So this is a component you can drop in where your customers are now able to view the paused flow. They have some actions here whether they can resume it or they can go ahead and cancel it. In Katie's case, she really wants this card, but she also wants to make sure that she knows the answer to this before proceeding. So what she chooses to do is chat with an expert. So while I do want to show you what the interaction looks like with the service agent as well, and who better for a service agent but Eric Ware, who moonlights as a support or a service agent as well. So Katie goes ahead and she tags chat with an expert. So once she says chat with an expert, she actually sees her first and last name, confirms it. And what you see here is a call coming through to Eric Ware, and he can go ahead and accept this particular conversation. And now he's live with Katie. So now let's see how Eric can help Katie. So he asks her, hey, how can I help you today? And Katie mentions that she's thinking of applying for a green credit card, but she's not sure if it'll affect her credit score. One of the things that Eric can do is he can go into the customer record for Katie, and let's actually give this a quick refresh as well, just so we make sure that he has all the latest information about Katie. So he can go to her customer record and he sees that there is a paused flow. So he goes back to Katie and he says, no, it won't, and your score is only impacted when you do multiple credit checks in a short period of time. I think this is great news for anybody who's applying for a credit card. I wasn't aware of this. And then Eric also says, hey, I've already started the process for you, but I see you've already started the process, but you haven't completed it. So would you like me to complete the process for you? So with paused flows, one of the great things is with the Summer 18 release, either the customer or the service agent can actually resume that flow. And Katie definitely wants to take him up on that. So she says, yes, please complete the process for me. And Eric goes ahead and he resumes the flow for her. So let's see how he does that. So he goes into Katie's customer record. So as you can see, she does have a paused flow. All he needs to do is click on it and hit next. And one of the things that's happened here is because Katie has already filled in all her information, it's directly going over to the last screen. So he can go ahead and complete it for her, no problem. And boom, just like that, it's done. So he goes ahead and he says, I've completed the process for you. Is there anything else I can help you with, right? Katie's thrilled that he was able to complete the process for her. And let's see what she says. So it looks like Katie has one other issue. So she wants to make sure that for her life insurance, there's an approved list of doctors that Eric should be using. So let's see what Eric does. So Eric definitely wants to check on that for her. One of the things that service agents get thrown in all the time is they have questions for which they don't have enough context. And so that's where our Community 360 comes in. So this is the panel on the right. And what Community 360 does is it shows you all of the interactions the customer has made with the community. So in Katie's case, if she had a chat or post that she's replied to, or if there's a knowledge article that she's downvoted, all of that information can be seen here. Our customers love this feature. And so we listen to them. And one of the things that we've done is really just updated it and taken it to the next level, right? So with Community 360 now, you have access to activity in all sorts of new record types, like assets, cases, cases already existed, but assets, contracts, orders, tasks, and then even custom objects. So Bright accounts here, that's pretty interesting, is a custom object. You can also track activity there. And the other thing you can do is just filter down to the activity you're really interested in. So in this case, Eric knows that Katie is interested, or she's looking at a certain task. So he goes ahead and clicks that. And sure enough, there is a task to complete a physical exam to lock in life insurance rates. So now he has a lot of context on what Katie is talking about. He goes over to her chatter record and he sees that she's already asked this question. Hey, is there an approved list of doctors that can give this exam, or can I just go to my usual one? So Eric replies, yes, there is. And then he just gives her the list to all of the doctors, and he comments on it. And then he goes back into the chat history and he says, all right, let's just minimize this. All right, and he says, I saw your question in the system and I've already responded back with a list of pre-approved doctors for you in Chatter. So he's already done that, and Katie is super happy. And she replies back. There we go. So with that, Katie is able to get a very speedy response for her questions. And you can see how Community 360 really helped Eric connect the dots between what Katie asked and what she wanted. And that about wraps it up for the customer portal demo. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
That was impressive. Thank you, Gayatri. Elna, how about some questions from the community or comments?
I got some for you, and comments and questions. So Randy is back on her back porch. It looks really relaxing out there. I just want to go join her and have a glass of lemonade, but it looks really nice there. Thank you for posting. She's really interested in CMS Connect, and also says, wow, how do you get Lightning to load so fast? Could that be the performance improvements that are coming in summer 18? I would guess so. And then she also asked, can a declarative admin use CMS Connect to a WordPress site, or does that require a developer?
Got it. So the nice thing about I've personally done it and I'm not a developer. So I do think it's very easy to actually set it up with clicks, not code. You can just pull in the information. You just have to know, what site you're actually targeting, as well as what some of the key information is that you want to extract, and then you can just pull that up. We in fact have a really great webinar in March that I'd love to share that actually talks about how you can use CMS Connect.
And I actually want to jump on the performance comment. So every release we're making enhancements to the performance for the communities, all the components for the different use cases. And we are also going GA with our CDN integration in the summer. So that's pretty valuable for our customers who have customers all across the world. So.
Thank you. So here's a great one from John. He's asking, is there a matrix document that compares the features available in each flavor of portal so that you can select the right one, like whether you want sales, employee, service, partner? He says our business space is sort of unique, so he might want a blend of several of these, or he's not quite sure which one would be the best fit.
Well, The great thing about communities is we do have a number of out-of-the-box templates that you can actually start with. So whether you're thinking about a service community or a partner community, we do have that. But these are completely customizable. So if there is a certain component or thing, flow that you actually like that's not available as part of your standard template, you can just go ahead and use that as well. So it's very highly customizable.
And the great thing is you can bring in any Salesforce objects into your community. So that really does give you the flexibility that you need. If you do need stuff from your sales model or from your service, you can bring all of that into one community.
But in terms of the features in each one, I'm glad that John posted this in the community, because we can go back and give you a link to some, documents that explain the various features of the various types, and you can pick which one strikes your fancy. And then Rick is asking, will you be connecting to more enterprise class CMS systems like IBM P8 FileNet, Documentum, etc.?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think that's something that's definitely in our backlog, but we don't have a release plan for it yet. It'll come soon, yeah.
And then Dane was asking about the pause feature, the pause of flow. So there's a limit for the number of flow interviews that are in a waiting status. So does that affect that limit, that pause feature? And should they be worried if they're going to hit the limit?
So that's something I can get back to you on. I feel like, if you make a note of it, we'll definitely reply back to you on that.
It's in the community, so we'll mention you on that one. Yeah. Also, John is asking about multilingual support. So if they're using live chat to an agent with the correct language, does it direct let's say somebody starts chatting in another language, does it automatically know to send that to an agent with those language skills?
Do you guys know about that one?
I mean, just thinking out loud here, it is possible to do that because you get language as a field, metadata, so you can route your cases based off different fields that you have on the record.
I think that's exactly how you can do it. Okay.
Awesome. Right. Well, keep the questions coming. We'll be here and we'll have more time to come back to Gayatri later as well. But let's transition over to Julie.
All right, thank you. I'm here to talk to you today about our Lightning service community. The service community is really your front line of defense. It's really the first place your customers come to for service. And it's really, the use cases are really around onboarding users quickly and easily, giving them access to knowledge articles, letting them have discussions with each other, solving their issues with peer-to-peer support, and then, if necessary, escalating them to cases. In summer 18, we are really excited because we're releasing several new features that help our community moderators with some moderation improvements. And we're also releasing a series of features that help drive engagement across the communities. So on the moderation side, what we're going to look at today is pinning posts. That's something that had been in pilot in the spring release and now is GA in the summer release. And we've brought that not only to groups, but also to topics. And you'll be able to pin 3 posts per topic or per group. Also in summer, we're releasing a tool for moderators to close conversations. So if that content has become stale or outdated or even gone out of control, it's a way to close a conversation for further comment. So you can close any of our content types, a post, a poll, or a question. On the engagement side, I'm really excited about recognition badges. This is a feature that's going into beta in the summer release, so you can ask your AE if you'd like to be included. Recognition badges gives your community members a chance to give badges to each other, or you as the moderator or manager to give a badge to special community members as well. So it's really the start of more of our gamification efforts. We've also gone a lot deeper on our Marketing Cloud integration. You might remember we released our first set of journey builders in spring, and that allowed you to target things like sending a really beautiful email to new users. With the summer release, we've gone ahead and really added a lot more events that when they trigger in a community can trigger a journey in Marketing Cloud. And so that includes things like retention. So if a user hasn't been to the site over X number of days, that can trigger a journey. If you want to reward people who have gotten their first question posted, you can use that to trigger a journey. And you can do journeys around things like getting your answer marked as best answer. I really like that one, and I'm going to show you how to set up that one today. So with that, I'm going to jump into the demo. So the first thing you'll see is, well, it's Eric Ware. He's back again. He's not only the employee at Bright Financial, but he's also the community manager of Capricorn Coffee. He's actually also the CEO of Capricorn Coffee and the chief bean roaster. So he's got a lot of roles that he really wears a lot of hats around here. So today he's really excited as a moderator to really look at the couple improvements that I just mentioned around pin post and close thread. So he's going to navigate over to his coffee solutions. Oh, and I should mention that Eric's updated the whole Capricorn Coffee look and feel using an out-of-the-box theme. This one was focused really around getting questions answered. That's why he put that search field so front and center. But I just love the new look and feel. It really just adds so much polish to the site. So now that we're in the coffee solutions, Eric's always got people who are asking about how to clean an espresso machine. So he's going to go ahead and come in here and pin that question right to the top so that it's the first thing everyone sees in the community so that they'll stop asking the question and really get excited about how to clean their espresso machines. As I mentioned, pinning isn't limited to topics. It's also available in groups. And Eric's been running a poll in the San Francisco Coffee Lovers group because he's thinking about opening his first retail store. So he really wants everyone who's in this group to see this poll and really vote because it's an important way for him to figure out where to open that first retail store. So you can pin, again, anything. You can pin a poll, a post, a question in your groups, and you can pin up to 3 items per topic or per group. So now let's fast forward. It's been a few months. This poll has run its course. So Eric's doesn't need it to be front and center. So the first thing he's going to do is unpin it. So then it just goes right back to where it was in the feed. But it's also run its course. And in the past, the option Eric had when a poll was over was really just to delete it. And that didn't feel very good to Eric because he always likes to keep around old content so that he can look back on and really see who voted for what. So now with our close feature, Eric can come in and just close the poll. So just like that, the poll is no longer open for voting and it's closed to comments, but users can still see and interact with the data and even like the poll if they really, after the first store opens, if they want to get more. You can close any of our content types, a poll, a question, or a post, and you can do that in groups or in topics. So now let's jump to engagement. Engagement's really the heart of bringing your users back and getting them excited about the community. And one of the features that we've rolled out in the summer release is our ability to bulk post to members. So we're looking at the new member dashboard in our dashboard area. And before you could manually post to each new member and welcome them to the community, but now I can actually do a post to the entire group of brand new members. And so I can just come in here, write a post. Eric's really excited to welcome them. And with one click, he's actually posting to 6 users and really getting them a personal welcome to the community. So let's take a look at what that looks like from a new user perspective. And we'll look at Thelma Lewis's email. And there she's just gotten an email. Eric Ware just welcomed her to the community. She knows that Eric's not only the community manager, but he's the CEO of Capricorn Coffee. Wow. So she's pretty excited about this. And she's going to come over to her profile and actually upload her photo, just like it said. So she's going to browse and find her photo.
I know Elma's going to appreciate a lot of these features.
She does look like Susan Sarandon, quite a bit. I don't know. Uncanny like.
All right, so there, Thelma's uploaded her photo, and now she's just going to write Eric back and say, thanks, just added my pic, so that Eric can know she did it. And now she's excited and engaged user that came back to the site. So that's just a really great way of engaging users, especially your new users. Now let's shift gears and look at another new engagement feature that I mentioned. And this one is in beta. So it's something that after you see it, if you get excited and want to do it in your community, you just need to ask your AE for further information about how to get enrolled in the beta. And that's our recognition badges. So we've actually added a new tile in Workspaces called gamification. That's where you'll find recognition badges. When you turn it on, you get 4 out-of-the-box badges. If you don't like them, you can get rid of any of them. You can also customize the badge icons to match your branding, and you can create your own. And these are badges, again, that are designed to be given to community members, either by the moderator or between community members, and you can control who you want to give them. Eric's really excited about Thelma's activity, so he's going to click on her link here and go to her profile, and he's going to give her a badge so we can actually see what that looks like. So we now have a new tab once you've turned on recognition badges called Thanks. And Thanks is where you'll go to give these badges. So Eric's going to give Thelma the badge, and he can choose between any of the badges that are active. In this case, he's going to use the welcome badge because he's so excited. You are enjoying the community. And just like that, Thelma's now got an accolade on her profile. The other thing that she's also got is another email in her inbox showing her that badge. So again, it's another great way to really engage your users and start to get them coming back to the community. And that's what all community managers want to see, is they want to see those users coming back over and over and over again. The next thing that we'll look at is our integration with Marketing Cloud, because that, as I mentioned, is another great way to get connected to your users and to fire off journeys. So we're going to go to Journey Builder, and we're going to take a look at what it looks like when you set up a journey around best answers. As I mentioned, we've extended the number of journeys that we can have, and I just need to find our congrats on 5 best answers. So in Journey Builder, you set up your logic, basically identifying the events that you want to fire on, what the frequency is, and then the journey that the email campaign will take. In this case, we're sending an initial email with an offer in it to join an elite program, the CAP Cafe Ambassadors. If the users don't take you up on that, we're sending a follow-up email just to kind of nudge them along. And that's the beauty of Journey Builder, is it really allows you to create a whole story around your email campaign. And in this case, what we're looking for is users when they've hit their 5th best answer. And then that night, we're going to fire off an email. So it's a nightly process that runs. So it's been a while. Thelma's been super active. And let's take a look at what that looks like in her world, because she just hit 5 best answers yesterday. So this is the email she just got from the Capricorn Coffee. It's announcing that she just reached 5 best answers. It's really calling out what a great program the Cap Coffee Ambassadors is and encouraging her to join. And then it's also reminding her to come back to the community to keep earning more perks. So again, it's another great way that you can start to engage your users. So those are our features around moderation and engagement. I want to give you a sneak peek into something that Gayatri mentioned on the DXP slide, and that's our new native content. So we're actually, today we have in the spring release, and before that we had the HTML editor. That lets you put your own HTML into your communities, but there was no way to do version control around that, and no real way to have the content be done by people who didn't know HTML. So with the native content, we've now got a new way to actually create your own content. This is going to be in pilot in the summer. So it's a sneak peek. You can ask your AE to get involved in the pilot, and you can also expect to hear a lot more about this as we move to winter. So the native content that you can create in summer is news. So you can create basically your own blog articles. So in this one, Eric's actually been hard at work. He's got his first Capricorn Coffee retail location. It's ready to open. So he really wants to announce this to the community. He's written an article. It's a bit of a press release. In here, you're able to embed images and do a lot of text formatting. You're also able to give it a featured image and an excerpt if you want to have a shorter version of the conversation. Here, we're just going to go ahead and bold that first cafe, and then we're going to publish it. And that's how you create native content. So once it's published, it's something that you can use in your community. And so we'll take a look at what it's like to add that in the builder. So here I'm going to go and look for the native content component. I'm going to drag it out and drop it right there under my news headline. And now I'm going to choose the content. And so from there, I can see all of the different content that I've created natively. I can see which version it is. So I'm seeing that this is the one that was just modified today. And I'm saving it. And now what's great is we have a bunch of different controls to control the look and feel. So if we expand the layout area, you'll see what I'm looking at out of the box is a banner. But I could just as easily be looking at a tile or a card, or even seeing the full article inline. That will take up too much room in that little space. So we're going to go back to the banner. I love the way that looks, but it's a little too tall because I like to have my leaders not pushed down that far. So the great thing is I can expand the style area, and I can control things like the banner height and width. And so I can really configure this content to look just the way I want it to look. And when I'm done, I can publish the site. Let's take a look at what this looks like on the published site. So here we have our news. We click view, and it takes us to that full article. So we can see everything about our first cafe, how it looks. And
That's
again,
really slick.
This is all native content. And it's a preview of something you're going to be hearing a lot more about. If you're really interested, you can try to get in the pilot through your AE. That's it for me on the service community side.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
So let's see, what questions do we have from the community about these awesome new features?
All right, I got questions, and thank you for posting them. Keep them coming. We love to get them. I actually love the native content. That's super exciting, and also I love my badges. I like to give out badges in the community, and I have got Blaze has a badge, and we have the treasure hunt badge, which reminds me I probably owe some of you some treasure hunt badges, so I'll work on those today. But I'm really glad to see those coming in the Lightning community as well. So thank you for that. Randy says closed poll is a small but mighty enhancement. Sometimes it's the little things that really make a difference. Okay, so some questions. Cindy says, I'm new to checking out what communities have to offer. So basic question, how many communities can you have? Can you have one for customers, one for employees if you wanted? And how do you restrict access to who can access the community?
Yeah, you can have, I believe, up to 100 communities per org. And you can choose what types of communities you want based on what your licenses allow you. But out of the box, you're basically going to be able to create any type of portal or a customer community, assuming you have community licenses. And you can choose through the different templates what your look and feel is going to be. So there's a lot of freedom for you in there. The only exception is partner community has a slightly different license. So if you want to have a partner community, you're going to want to make sure your license aligns with that.
Right, thanks. And then Daniel's saying service communities. What about ideas? Will we get those soonish?
Ideas you can get through our partners. That's a great place to go look at the App Exchange. There's a bunch of partners who've done work to integrate ideas, and a bunch of communities that are out there are already using them. It's really your best way to get ideas into your community.
Thank you for that. And then John is asking, what about flagging a topic or a comment that's inappropriate for admin review?
Oh yeah, we've had that for years actually. So any moderator and end user can go in and flag a post, a poll or question or answer. Anything can be flagged, and those do go into our moderation queues. So you as the community manager will have access to that. You'll be able to approve or disapprove of any flagged content. And that's all done in the workspaces area. So if you look at workspaces moderation.
And just to chime in, Julie, moderators can also come in and create a blacklist in advance.
Great point.
So that, if you're talking about me, all posts are banned in our community, for example.
Yep.
So you can use that as well for the moderation tool in workspaces.
You can also put in stuff for new users. Like if you're really concerned that a new user may or may not be safe to post, you can actually have that go to a queue as well, and then review all of those things before they're turned on for the public.
Yeah, in the Trailblazer community, I think we have over 2 million users in there now. And so occasionally we get something that maybe shouldn't be posted. And actually any member can flag posts. And I've gotten many emails of posts that have been flagged. So they're definitely easy to deal with. And then Pavani's asking, can we have multiple sharing sets for a community? And I think she means for a single community.
Harris?
Yeah, so sharing sets is something that we're working on actively. Programmatically, you can configure multiple sharing sets. We do have roadmap items around being able to configure sharing sets using clicks, not code. And so that's a multi-release journey that we're currently working on.
And Randy agrees with me that the native content is amazing. So yes, it definitely is. And I have one more question. We may need to punt this to the field service team, but just in case, do you have any comments about the interaction between communities and field service Lightning? Is there anything new in Summer 18 in that area?
Yes. Field service objects are now exposed in communities, especially in the portal community.
All right. Great.
Awesome.
Thank you. So keep those questions coming. We've got one more section to get through. Harris, it's on you.
All right. Let's jump into partner communities. Hey, everyone. So partner communities is all about, the whole partner lifecycle, from signing up new partners to partner registration to partner onboarding to partner training, partner management, enablement, and really helping them sell and market. And across that whole life cycle, we have lots of different capabilities that we've shipped. I'll call out a few ones that we're shipping in the summer. So on the enablement side, we have full libraries capabilities coming in with the ability to manage your content, and we'll demo that soon. Delegated admin capabilities, these are really powerful to help communities scale. So when you have, we have customers with millions of users, in fact, and so you want to provide the power to your key partners to be able to manage their own teams and people. You'll see a little bit more around that too. We mentioned sharing sets and campaign marketplaces, so all of which we'll demo shortly. So let's just jump into the demo from here. Awesome. So right now I'm logged in as Erica Ware. She is sister of Eric Ware. It's a really highly functional, very successful family of hardworking people. Their parents must be really proud. So Erica Ware is logged in to this Pacifica Technologies company. So Pacifica Technology creates smart hardware and software. So this is smart solar panels, digital thermostats, etc. So here in Lightning, she is logged into her channel management app. So this is where she comes in and she can manage a lot of key things around her channel. And you got to know that for Pacifica, 60% of her revenue is generated using the partner channel. So enabling the channel is really important. So let's look at this channel management app here. So on the home page, I can see, as Erica, I can see some of the top deals that are coming in. On the right side, there's a chatter feed, so she doesn't have to jump into the community. She can continue sitting within her channel management app and have real-time conversations with a number of different partners like CTW resellers. And as I scroll down below, she can see some of the recent records, latest news, and open cases as well. From here, let's jump into channel programs. So channel programs are a way for to segment your partners, right? So you have partners of different types. You might have resellers, just distributors, vendors, middlemen. So it really depends on your use case. And also you might have partners who are in different regions selling different things. So using channel programs, and here I'm jumping into a US reseller program, you can also have sub-levels. So in our example, there's bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. So with a combination of programs and levels, you can target different types of content, send different deals, send different marketing campaigns to your different partners. So that's really powerful in terms of segmenting your partner ecosystem and really providing them with all the right relevant information and CRM data that they need. So I'm scrolling down here. There are a number of different program members here. One of them I want to highlight is CTW Resellers. So CTW Resellers is a brand new partner who's just joined the program. And in a little bit, I'll switch over and show you the partner experience as CTW. But for now, let's continue. So the next thing I want to show you is all around content. So let's jump into files. Lots of different enhancements here. But let me provide you a quick summary around files. So files and content, it's the same product. In Lightning and Communities, we call it Salesforce Files. You have all the capabilities you know and love all in one single central place. And libraries, where I'm sitting in, is a way to create, organize official content. So libraries, think of libraries as a a folder with a subfolder structure, so you could really organize your content. And we have a number of different libraries here. But you can also then manage members and decide who has access and exactly what type of access they have. Lots of enhancements here in the summer release, so you can create a brand new libraries, which I won't do. What I actually want to do is go to marketing content. So marketing content is an existing, very popular library. I'm going to edit library details and show you. So here, you can edit your library name, add a description, and you can also attach a branding image. So this is really powerful because when you go into the community, you'll see you can create really beautiful experiences with your content and help your partners discover this content effectively. So closing this, let's jump into marketing content itself. So you can see there are subfolders in here and lots of different files. And we are GAing the member management capabilities as well. Lots of enhancements on this front since the last release. So from over here, you can add groups and you can add individual users. So that's really key for a couple of reasons, right? You can add individual users like Erica can add other people from Pacifica who are creating content, etc. But they can also add groups of partners in one single batch instead of having to do it one by one. And then they can actually grant them access as well. So different types of access. You can grant them publisher access, view-only access, author access, etc. And in setup, you can really configure exactly what type of access you want to grant. So really enterprise level controls and access around your content. So that's super powerful. And you'll see how that manifests itself inside a community pretty soon. But let's jump into the last part of the channel management app. It's dashboards. So here, Erica is looking at her FY18 channel sales dashboard, everything in one single central place. So she can look at the pipeline, the year-to-date goals, how are we doing, how we're losing. So there are a number of dashboards that come out of the box with our partner community, but really, you can leverage any CRM records and create your own reports and dashboards and surface them. And so this is highly configurable. The other thing that's really important about dashboards in Salesforce is you can take action on these dashboards. So you can follow them, you can collaborate on them in Chatter, and you can subscribe to the key dashboards and kind of keep track of the stats that matter to you most. Awesome. So now I've walked you through channel management with Erica. So now let's jump into a community. Everyone gets really excited when they're looking at communities. So now we're jumping into this Pacifica community as James Preston. So James Preston is the VP of Sales at CTW Resellers that we pointed out to you earlier. So because this is a brand new partner and James is new, you can see this community experience is fully optimized for onboarding. You can see some content here. This could either be native content or it could be content that's coming from CMS Connect. We have some interesting information that's relevant. We have news, and again, then we have some more content about the products and Pacifica. So James has all the relevant information he needs to be able to kind of learn. And I want to call out this is the power of the platform that you can use the community builder with audience targeting to really surface the right content, components, and pages and information to the right people. So he actually wants to jump into resources and learn a little bit about Pacifica and Pacifica's customers. So I'm jumping into the resources tab here. So again, now you see those libraries that we were configuring as Erica, but now you see them in beautiful tile view. You can switch back and forth between list view and tile view as you want. I personally like tile view because it looks pretty. And James is going to jump in here and look at some of the content in here. So you can see there's subfolders, you have your folder structure, but he wants to learn a little bit more about some of the customer success stories, so he's going to click customer journeys. So this is our beautiful HTML preview player that you know and love. We made some enhancements to make this mobile responsive, and you have gestures and drag and drop in the spring release. But what we've added here is the ability to view file details. So if I click here, I'm seeing the file detail page. Not to nerd out, but every file has a unique URL. So now James could take this URL and paste it in Chatter, share it in email, etc. Right? So that's pretty key. It's sort of like a landing page for every file. Lots of capabilities come with this file detail page. So let's talk about a couple of them. So the first one over here on the left side are fields. So you can expose standard fields and custom fields so that all the relevant metadata and information and possibly instructions are available for your partners. So James can see this document is approved for external sharing, so he could in fact create a public link and share it outside. And he also knows this document is targeting the North America region, so he knows that he's sending the use cases out to the right people as well. A few more things. James can see version history as well. If he wants to access one of the older versions, he can do so. He can also follow the file. So lots of rich capabilities around content that we've brought over to communities. So now let's fast forward a couple of months. James is fully onboarded. He's closed a number of big deals for Pacifica. Super excited. So they've promoted him and CTW to Gold. So now I'm logged in to James's experience as a Gold partner. This is the same homepage you saw earlier, but the experience is completely different. That's really the power of the platform here. We're targeting different information, different data for the exact same user, and as he's progressed from bronze to gold. So let's do a quick harbor tour of this homepage, and then jump into some of the key use cases that are important to James. So at the top, you see some content, and James also sees his lead inbox, and he can take action right from his homepage. He's a Gold partner. He has 1,000 points. And using this component that's available in App Exchange, he can also learn about how he can get to the next level. It's never ending, right? From Gold, he can get to Platinum, and he has instructions of exactly how he can do so. Looking towards the left, you have a business summary dashboard, his campaigns, his leads, and his top deals, and cases that he might have created. Right? There were some questions around, can we use features that we saw in customer communities with partner communities? Absolutely. So this is a pretty good example that I'll show you on the fly. So he can see active cases that he might have created as well. So a lot of these capabilities, they're not just available by customer, partner, employee. It's really about how admins configure many of these capabilities with our platform. All right, so let's jump into one of the new features called delegated admin capabilities, or also known as account management. So I'm jumping in from James's profile into account management. So historically, what used to happen is, the channel manager and the channel marketer did all the work for the partners, right? And what we've done is taken that and given that power out to the partners, right? And that really helps you scale your community. So you can let some of your key partners and specific people inside your key partner organizations to be able to manage their own information and their own branding. So provide that power, decentralization. That's really powerful. So here, James has access to all his account information, his address. He has access to all the members. So there are 9 people from CTW who are a part of this community. So James is going to click one of them. He can deactivate users, and he can reset their passwords. I know how often people forget their passwords, and this is a simple but one of those really powerful features that saves a lot of time.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's around the member management. The other thing I want to show you is around branding. So he can really, I'm going to click edit here and show you all the things he can control on the branding front. He can change his account name, the account type, the company information, and he can even change his logo. Now that he can actually upload a brand logo, him and his organization, CTW, they can use this logo in a number of different places. They can use it in emails, in campaigns, share them in Chatter. These logos are Salesforce files, so like with any files, they can be leveraged in a number of different places. And then finally, there's some more information as well that he can obviously access from his account right within his account management portal. Great. So now that I've shown you how James can really own his account, let's look at marketing. We've done a lot of work on marketing. So here, I'm jumping into campaign marketplaces. We had demoed this last time, but we've gone GA this time with a number of enhancements. So one thing I want to call out is, so James is looking at his campaign marketplaces. When he comes into campaign marketplaces, he can see different campaigns that were created for him by Pacifica. There's a lot more information. For example, if there's a new campaign that's come in, he can look at that. If there's funds available, so he has a spending budget, he knows that as well. He can avoid some of the campaigns that don't have any budget or are not new or they're old. So a lot more relevant information available in campaign marketplaces. Now, James, he wants to sell the Apollo solar panel that Pacifica produces. In California, solar panels are going to be mandatory for all new homes. It's going to make our lives more better, but more expensive. But he wants to jump in and drive an email campaign. So let's click in as James. So now I'm jumping into the campaign page. A couple of things to call out. Julie had shown you the Marketing Cloud integration and the Journey Builder. Every journey in Marketing Cloud is one-to-one integrated with a campaign inside your community. And that's really an important point to take home. So you as a marketing person can manage all your journeys and configure different messages and create processes, and they're easily reflected inside communities for your partners. James does not have to go into Marketing Cloud to leverage these campaigns or the messages. And you can see this campaign is connected to the Apollo journey inside Marketing Cloud. That's a really key point here. There's lots of information you can see on campaigns, like campaign messages, different members, and other relevant information. So campaigns are also tied to activities and budgets as well. So you can track the ROI of campaigns. Here, let's look at campaign messages, however. So campaign messages, 3 campaign messages that are pre-created. One is, information about the Apollo solar panel for brand new prospects. Then the second message is around how it lowers your bills, the benefits. And the third message is about trade shows and inviting people to a trade show. So there's a trade show for solar panels in Vegas next month. And what James wants to do is he wants to invite a few people to the trade show because, with his big smile and his charming personality, he can close deals really, really effectively. So what he's going to do is actually take these pre-built messages and customize them and target a few people. So let's jump in and do that. So he's clicking View Pending Members, and he can see a list of a number of different leads that might be a good fit for these campaign messages. Now he could select all of them and send the same, the standard messages. But what he wants to do is target Anita and Bob. He was talking to them over the email before, and he wants to send them personalized messages. So let's kind of jump in to personalized messages. If you click that, you'll jump in here, and you can see here's a pre-built message created by the marketing folks at Pacifica. It makes his life a whole lot easier. You have beautiful images, the banner logo, some text. But if he wants to come in and customize this message, he can do that really easily. So you can say, instead of calling Trade Show Alert, let's call it Trade Show in Vegas. And if he wants to add some introduction information, he can say, good to reconnect. He could fully customize this message and then save and close and send this out. So you can see instead of targeting everyone, I've just targeted Anita and Bob and sent them a really highly personalized message. So that's basically, a marketing journey, right? So I've shown you how James can discover new marketing campaigns. He can target different messages. He can invite people. What I've not shown you is how you can also then manage your funds. Those are capabilities that we had in the past, so I'm not going to jump into that for now. But you can basically file claims and file requests as well.
Wow. Imagine how much more productive your partners will be if they're able to leverage these features. So I'm sure you've been thinking about that and you've got some questions. Elna, what's out there?
Oh, that's some great stuff. The programs and levels, I really think that's super powerful, and so many more options for personalizing the partner experience through that. I think there's going to be some great work coming out of that. So we have some questions. I have a bunch of questions on this segment, and I also have some, if we have time to go back for
We've got a bit of time, Elna.
All right.
Yeah,
cool.
and I have one more portion of the demo I'll show as we wrap up. So let's do the questions.
Okay, gotcha. Powell was just asking which template you were using for that demo.
So that's a Partner Central template. That's a pretty good starting point. I did little to no customization on that. So you can take that and then go into the builder and change the colors or themes really easily, as the gang had shown you earlier.
Great. And Rachel was wondering if there's anything in Summer 18 that will help us expose documents that were originally loaded internally in the files related list on opportunities, accounts, etc., and then expose them in the partner community.
Yeah, absolutely. That's already actually possible. So the way files work is the following. So you can have files inside your internal org that you're sharing that to specific people or that are private to you. However, you can also share files to libraries or different records like cases, accounts, opportunities, leads, or even custom objects. And when you do that, your file is basically inheriting the sharing from those records or from the libraries. So what that means is if you have a case or an account that's available in a partner community as well as in internal in Lightning, those files will naturally be available inside the community. So no work needs to be done there. All that's handled under the hood.
And she might be wondering about, doing a massive amount of files and if there's some volume-based tool available. But if, Rachel just let us know if that was your use case. But certainly individually, just putting it in a library would probably do the trick. And then Randy was asking, do libraries have subfolders?
Yes, indeed. I actually showed that a little bit in the demo today. So libraries have subfolders, and you can go many, many levels deep. You can share the same files across libraries, and you can put them in different subfolders. So you have all those capabilities. And those have been available since last year. So, yeah.
Awesome. Right. So actually, let's go ahead and get the rest of your demo in, and then we can take more questions.
Fantastic. All right. So I always like to bring my demos home by showing you how the butter is really made. So I'm going to jump back into the demo as Erica and show you some of the capabilities around the builder. So here I am looking at the builder that Gayatri had shown you earlier. You can see the same homepage. You can have lots of different experiences. So if I click US Reseller Bronze, that was the experience that James had when he was a brand new user that was onboarding. But what I really want to do is jump back to the US Reseller Gold, which is what you saw in the second part of the demo. So again, quick harbor tour. You have access to lots of components. You can configure your themes, manage your page structure, and you have a lot of settings available to you for SEO, theming, languages, etc. So here on this homepage, let's scroll here so you can see that homepage that we demoed earlier. But here is a CMS Connect component that you actually hadn't seen before, right? So this is a CMS Connect component. So with CMS Connect, you can bring in content from external systems. So you can use a number of different sources, Adobe AEM, Sitecore, Drupal. I know there's a few more that are coming. We have roadmap items for those. And also in the summer, you can bring in verified, authenticated internal content as well. So here, what's her name? Erica, she's been targeting internal Pacifica site to bring in content. And what she wants to do is actually surface more content for our power users. So she's going to just say, let's change this to 4. And then the other thing she wants to do is change the audience. So here right now, we're just targeting European members, but what she wants to do is target gold US resellers. So she has a number of pre-created audiences, which you can also do in the workspaces, which is where a lot of time is spent in kind of like managing and maintaining your community. And she's going to assign this CMS component to US gold resellers, so James can also have access to this. So we've changed that, and now what she's going to do is just save. As soon as she saves this, we're going to save the community. So let's do that. There we go. Okay. Demo gods have not been kind. It didn't save. But what actually happens in this case is then you can actually target this content for James, and he'll be able to see and access this, right? So if you do preview, you can see the components right here, and if it was pointing to the right source, you'd see all that the news articles that we saw earlier as well. So, and you'd see 4 of those. But basically, that's how you kind of target your content as well using CMS Connect. One thing I'll call out is you can target content using the rich content editor as well and do the same thing as well. So that kind of wraps up the harbor tour of the builder and how we were able to configure and manage the partner communities for the different users.
Great. And obviously more information about that CMS Connect in the release notes as well.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So let's take questions for all of you then.
All right, so much great content. And if we don't get to your question on the air, which we probably won't get to all of them because I still have about 15 lined up, we will, again, we will circle back with you after. The product managers are going to answer in whatever forum you posted, whether it was Twitter or in the community. So don't worry, we have no question left behind. Question from Ali. On sharing libraries, can you share by user profile or fields in CRM at the contact level?
Yeah, so with libraries, you can share by users, so individual users, and also by groups, and you can create different types of groups. It could be a combination of internal users or external users, totally up to you, by geography. So you have a lot of control in terms of what type of groups you create. And then you can also decide exactly what type of access you want to give them. Does a particular group have read-only access, or read and write access, or read and share access? All of that's configurable.
So I think, Rachel, that answers your question about whether you can have a public group that contains both internal and partner members. And the answer to that is absolutely.
Absolutely.
Right? All right. Let's see. Do themes work across any Salesforce template? What about existing communities?
Yeah, that's a great question. So themes, you can take advantage of them. They work on all the existing Salesforce templates, and whether you have a new community or an existing community, you can definitely use themes.
Right. And Jordan had a great question about the Lightning Page Builder. So one thing you can do in internal with Lightning App Builder is you can do this component visibility thing, conditional component visibility. Will things like that be also available in the community, or is there parity there with things you can do with App Builder?
Yeah, I mean, I can take a first stab at it, and please chime in. So one thing we were showing is audience targeting and page variation. So leveraging those capabilities, what you can do is specific pages or specific components are only visible to certain groups of users. And that's a great way to surface components and pages to users. And in my demo, when I was logged in as James, we didn't see that CMS component that was showing the 3 tiles. And when I jumped into the builder, it was visible for the admin and for the European users when we were configuring audiences, because of exactly that. We were targeting that component by audiences.
And a quick note on audiences. Audience targeting really is a great way for you to personalize your community. And you can do it either at a page level, as Harris mentioned, but also on a branding level. So if you have a different branding experience you want to provide to one of your top-tier partners versus not, then you can definitely use that, as well as the individual component level that was introduced in the last release.
Yeah, I actually want to rip off what you were saying. It reminds me of another capability with audience targeting. So you can create target audiences based off CRM data, like from the user profile, any field. So it could, if you want to target by geography or by language or by certain URL, you could do that. You can also do audience targeting by IP address, right? So there's lots of capabilities in terms of audience targeting, and so yeah. Lots of investments the team had made for hyper-targeting.
It's really one of the most powerful features of Builder, I think, and it's probably the least discovered by a lot of users, so definitely check it out.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us and answering all those questions. I know you'll be in the community answering the ones that we didn't have a chance to get to. And for Elna, I just want to say, do you have anything to say in closing?
Oh, thank you so much for joining. Everybody who joined multiple days this week, it was great having you, and it's great seeing the same people coming back and giving us shout outs and questions on Twitter and in the community. Keep them coming. Let's keep the conversation going, especially in the Trailblazer community where I like to hang out. We also have all the subject matter experts, other customers who are experts, our product managers. They can all answer your questions and keep conversations going on Summer 18. We also have some other webinars coming up, so if you follow that Release Readiness Trailblazers group, we do a little newsletter every week. You'll see what's coming up. We have a bunch of great webinars taking a deep dive into some of the specific clouds that we've covered this week, some more setup information and all things like that. So definitely go register for those. And we'll see you out there and hope everybody enjoys Summer 18.
Awesome. So thanks again, everybody, for joining us from wherever you are in the world. As usual, we can't wait to see what you turn these amazing features into. So please share them with us in the community. And if you happen to miss any of the Release Readiness live sessions that we did previously this week, don't worry. They've all been recorded and you can access them from the link right here on the screen. And with that, we also value your feedback. So please take the survey, let us know how we're doing, how can we improve, what are you loving about Release Readiness Live, so we can keep doing more of what you love and give you more of that as well. And with that, we're off to go and work on Winter 19. So you can join us right back here for Winter 19 for the new features that we develop in that time. And as usual, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.